It all began with a box of candies, a moment of rejection that made me cry harder than my 6-year-old body could even hold, and a pattern that developed that haunted me for decades after, until I learned how to stop suffering and how to create peace on the inside. Hello and welcome, my name is Kartika Nair and you're watching Synchro Shakti. Today we're looking at how you can let go of all that emotional weight that is weighing you down and to rise back up in life, but you know that a chapter is not finished in the middle of the chapter. If you want to get the most of this video, you're going to watch the entire video because then the chapter is complete. Let's get started immediately. I was around 6 years old. I was on this rooftop with these other kids. And these are kids I didn't fully know. I wanted to get to know them. And there's this door that led to this balcony, to this terrace of this unfamiliar building. I'm here for the first time. The door opens and this girl comes out. And this girl comes out with this box full of candies. Now it's her birthday and she's giving out these candies. Now it's not just any candy. It's Hajmola candies. Now I grew up in the 90s in India. Hajmola candies were a sensation. You had all kinds of flavors. You had tamarind flavor, we call it imli. You had raw mango. Tamarind flavor, the imli flavor was my all-time favorite, and I was so excited to get my hand on that Hajmola candy, and she was giving it out to everybody. Now even though I wanted that candy so much, I also wanted to be friends with her. I also wanted to be friends with these people around me. So I started inching my way through the crowd with my hands out, so excited to get that candy because I know it's going to make my life so happy if I get that candy. It's such a huge deal for me. And everybody's put their hand out and they're all getting candy, and she's giving candy to everybody. And now it's my turn. She's giving it to everybody and I'm like smiling and I have my hand out and she looks at me point blank in my eye and nothing. She turned around and she walked back out that door, and all the kids started skipping around and went with her. And I was just there, my hand still this way. I don't know what happened. I don't understand what happened in this moment. But I remember turning around and I walked towards the edge of that balcony and I was looking in the horizon, and I remember my body crying in such a strong way as though my whole soul was coming out of my body. Every muscle was pushing so much of tears coming up, so much of pain coming up. And I remember thinking, how can this small, tiny 6-year-old body hold this much of sensation and this much of pain? Now on that day I learned 3 things. Number 1, that I can't get what I want. Number 2, that people have power over my destiny. Number 3, that there's so much pain that comes up in my body and I don't know how to deal with any of that. I suffer a lot in the hands of things not going my way and the hands of people being different than what I want. That was one of the reasons for a long drawn pattern of this stuff happening again and again in my life, where there was powerlessness to things not going my way, powerlessness to people, and holding strong emotions in my body. Now when I was in my early 20s, all of this kind of culminated into an anxiety disorder. You all know all that story. But that is what pushed me into studying a lot about not just mindfulness and creation, but it taught me to understand people and understand why the world is the way that they are, why my emotions are the way that it is, why do I feel the way that I feel, why do I feel so much pain. And so I started digging deeper and I learned certain things that I could apply at every stage of my life, and those same patterns kept showing up for me, and I kept breaking them one experience at another until I could break it all. When I broke it all today, I'm at a position in my life where people go out of the way to do things for me. It's beautiful. I've seen many things work out in my favor that don't usually work out for a lot of people. Not because I'm special, it's just how things end up happening in my experience. And I know how to create peace in my body and to breathe out heaviness and to be peaceful again. If that's of interest to you, let's look at the lessons that actually created this experience for me. And so I've gone through all of this, so you don't have to go through it. You can learn it now, practice it, and experience a much better way of life. So let's start on the first point. The first point is our focus on problems. When I had my anxiety disorder back in 2013, the first thought I would have in the morning when I woke up was the thought of anxiety, which is the problem I was going through. The last thought I had before I went to bed was the thought of anxiety, which was the problem that I was going through. So my head was completely focused on my problem, researching my problem, how to come out of my problem, how to overcome my problem. Because of my focus on the problem so much, I dragged my anxiety disorder much longer longer than I needed to, I could have broken out of it much earlier. So how did I break out of it? Is I became highly present, started living in the present moment instead of being problem focused. Problems solve themselves. In case you haven't noticed it in life, they solve themselves. Get your energy back to a neutral space. Become present. What you focus on is what you fuel. So becoming present opens up the gateway to create or to experience a totally new way of life without doing law of attraction techniques. Just being present will bring you to a new way of life. Your past will be in the rearview mirror. If you understood that, type in the comments saying, today is the first day of my life on the planet and I fuel what I want. Let's look at the second one. The second one is extremely powerful and probably the most powerful lesson I've ever learned, and that is give people the luxury of being themselves, but let me reparent myself. What does that mean? People are like fire. Their fire was built long before you even came into their life. Their fire is based on their childhood, their background, their experiences, their stuff, nothing to do with you. They have to express their fire somehow. They need to burn out somehow. Even if that burnout is passive aggressive or active aggressive or whatever they're doing, they need to burn out. Give them the luxury of burning out. Say whatever, do your thing. But if I'm hurt, that's my stuff. For example, let's say somebody is having a tough day and I'm very excited to see them, but then when they see me, they're still occupied in their mind and they don't really give me that excitement that I wish I got from them. That's because they had a bad day. It has nothing to do with me. But in that moment, I start feeling pain because in my childhood, I felt not important, not valued, not seen, not acknowledged. Nobody's like super excited to see me. So that was my pain from childhood that was getting triggered in that moment. That's not their fault. That was my pain. So what do? I reparent myself. I gave them the luxury of being themselves. There are wonderful people in this world who would love to acknowledge you and love you and understand you. They're there in the world. We can match up to them too. But first we have to reparent ourselves. By reparenting, I mean teach yourself the things that you wish the world had taught you and told you. For example, I tell all aspects of me that I am absolutely lovable, that I have plenty of qualities in me that makes me excited to be me, and also would make millions of people out there excited to see me, that there is beauty in my soul, that I'm a wonderful person, that I'm a good person, and show myself that this person's rejection, quote unquote, has nothing to do with me, that I am absolutely whole as a person. This helps me move on and not suffer people because I have a different story of myself. Had I kept the story that I'm not good enough, I'd never move on from that one person who did not acknowledge me. I'll keep suffering it in my nervous system. But if I knew that my story is different, that I am an absolutely beautiful soul and there is goodness in me, I can actually move past that a lot faster. So give people the luxury of being themselves, or type it below if you understood. I give people the luxury of being themselves while I reparent myself. Awesome. Let's go to the third one. Please pause and write that down. I'm looking at the comments. Let's go to the third one. I'm one of the few people who will tell you this, but it's a very powerful lesson, and that is don't suffer other people's vortex. There are two ways in which we suffer other people's lives. Firstly, we suffer them because somebody in your family struggled financially or struggled in business, so you think that's going to happen to you as well. Some girls from your college struggle to get a job because she's from your class, she didn't get an MBA, whatever, so you think that's going to happen to you. All the women in your family married into terrible marriages, so you think that's going to happen to you. What are you doing? You create your own vortex. You don't need to suffer someone else's creation. That's the first thing. Just because it happened to other people does not mean it has to happen to you. You create everything into your vortex. You can create everything new than what happened to other people. That's the first thing. Second way people suffer others' vortexes is they feel sad when other people are hurting or they're going through a health problem or a financial problem. But suffering them doesn't help them. But in case you did not know, you can bring them into your vortex. That means you, the one who's creating your own reality, can hold them in such a high vibration in your own mind, in your own visions, remembering them in the best state, dancing with them in your mind. You can actually attract an experience where when they call you, when you see them, you see improvement, you see that they're better, you see that good things are happening in their experience. That's what you'll call into your reality when they show up in your reality, as opposed to you feeling so down because you're seeing their creation. Remember one thing, their soul needs to learn the same way your soul needs to learn. Let them learn their lessons. You feeling bad for them is not going to teach them their soul's lesson and help their soul grow. They're going through their own caterpillar in the cocoon moment. So instead of feeling bad for them, bless them to come out of that. Instead of suffering them, hold them in their highest so you can stay high and pull them up with you. So if you understood that, comment below saying, I don't suffer other people's vortex, I create my own vortex. I create my own vortex. Write that down in the comment section. I'm watching you. Go ahead and write it down. Let's go to the next one, and that is control. A lot of people need to control things. It has to go exactly how they want it to go, and if it goes anything differently, they completely crash down into feeling not wanting to live, into feeling panic attacks because they can't control everything that's happening. But if you can hold the belief that at the end of the day, whatever happens, I'm going to be happy with my life and my results, even when something goes a little off or way off than what you thought or how you envisioned something to go, it will at the end of the day come back to the feeling of, you know what, I'm very happy with how things went. I'll give you an example to help you understand this. Okay, so example, when my brother was coming to Croatia for the first time to visit me, I was super excited. I had the exact vision of how I want everything to go. I even knew which car of ours we got. I know we have multiple cars, not good for carbon footprint, but you get my point. I even knew which car we're going to take. I knew where we're going to pick him up from the airport, what I'm going to show him on the way home, and everything picked out. What we're going to do when we get home, what we're going to do on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5 of his visit. I had it all planned out in my head because I wanted him to have this magical time in what for me is the most magical country in the world, Croatia. So I started getting really excited for that, and then just a week before he came, everything went off the plan. The people that I depended on to make this plan go well had their own plans. Random things were coming. Someone had an exam, somebody had to travel, something. What are you going to do now? But I knew at the end of the day, whenever something goes way off than what I planned, I know that God has a better plan, universe has a better plan, because it's all matching my belief that at the end of the day, I'm going to be very happy with how the visit went. So that was my end result feeling. I'm very happy with how the visit went. And so even though all these things went off my original plan, we ended up having much better time and much more magic than I could have even imagined earlier, because I have this belief that even if something goes differently than I planned, at the end of the day, it's going to be really, really good and I'm going to enjoy myself. Let that be your belief, because then you will not suffer when something doesn't go your way. You'll know that whatever is happening will eventually come back to the reality where you're very happy with how everything ended up. Okay? Let that be your lesson. So type in the chat below, I let go and I let God. I let go and I let God, because everything's leading to my happiness, right? Good. Let's go to the final one. The final one is, oh man, this is a beautiful one. Knowing that you're worthy and good things to happen to you. This is very powerful. Now, a lot of the times we are holding so much emotional pain for two reasons. Number one, we see our lives as only crap. I remember growing up, most of my life I can only remember bad things. Could almost never remember anything good, because my mind was so identified with pain and suffering that whenever I looked at my past, I only saw the dark. I didn't see anything good, nothing. It's only darkness everywhere. And then years later, now when I look back, I'm seeing hundreds, thousands of beautiful memories, beautiful moments. I was like, where the hell were all these memories when I was going through my journey? All I could see was just darkness, but there was so much magic. I didn't even notice them. I didn't even look at them. Today, of course, I force this down my students' throats as well, as to notice day to day, moment to moment magic. From this morning to today, you know how many things worked out for you? You don't know, because you did not calculate, you did not look into it. You kept focusing on all the bad things that happened. But if you change your perspective and you look at the fact that you're alive, you're breathing, your body is metabolized food, you're safe, you got home safe, so many things went your way, you start building this belief that, hey, things do go my way. That means I am worthy. If I exist, I am worthy, but things are going my way, that means I am worthy of things going my way. If that becomes your end deep belief that things to go my way, what happens is, even when you go through the toughest moments of your life, there's one part of you that sticks up and says, I know good times are coming. I know this too will pass. I know good things will happen even tomorrow morning, day after tomorrow, today evening, because it's always happening. Because my eyes are watching all the good things that are happening to me, all the people are supporting me, all the safety, all the changes, all the fact, just remember this. Even if you don't believe me right now, just look at this moment. Just look at what is happening. We are connecting. The universe is guiding you through me because it supports your desires, it supports your vision. You've gotten access to this content. Do you think your neighbor's uncle has got access to this content? Even though it exists, it didn't come into his reality, it came into your reality. That means you're creating this. That means good things are coming to you. That means guidance is here. If you think this is a good thing, it comes to you. Good things come to you. Let that be your, even if that's the only good thing that has ever happened to you, is that I'm talking to you right now. If that's the only good thing, hold that good thing and keep building your belief that good things to happen to me based on this one thing. If you start believing that good things to happen to me, you will move through tough times a lot faster than if you are in the belief that nothing good is happening, nothing is moving. It's always moving. You need to have a magnifying glass to your day in your life. You will see so much more than you even allow yourself to see. There's so much going on here that you can't see. And I have people like that in the beginning of my courses, can't see a blessing, can't see anything good. At the end of my courses, I'm not asking you to join my courses, but I'm telling you this is what we do. Magnifying glass. There's so much magic in their life because they keep noticing it more than they ever noticed it before. And that's going to help you move through these tough times as well. Let me know if any of these lessons helped you. If yes, which was the lesson that resonated with you the most? Let me know in the chat. And if I told you that your life could absolutely change in 6 months using philosophies like this, what I just shared with you, and a lot more, and teach you how to actually imbibe them and be consistent in practicing this way of life, and to be able to change people and situations without manipulating them and pushing them, but just changing your own energy. If you knew that was possible to do, would you want to learn how to do it? If yes, I want to share that with you for free. We're doing a 3-hour class. If you're a serious seeker like me, I'd study a 30-hour class if I needed to. I really enjoy and really value life. If you do as well, come register for the 3-hour class where I'll be teaching you how to change your life in less than 6 months using this way of life, this philosophy, stay consistent in applying it, and how to change people and situations without 5 a.m. routines, without forcing yourself to be positive all the time. If that's interesting for you, go find out more details in the description. Thank you so much for joining me in another video. I appreciate you. I love you. And share this with somebody who needs this knowledge. Let me know in the comments of the points that you resonated with. Like this video to tell me if you actually enjoyed it, and that gives me a lot of feedback, of course. I love connecting with you guys. Thank you for being here. I love you, and I'll see you in another video. Namaste.